Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time you're watching this. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kike. Today, we're going to be talking about how to reduce exposure to taxation in Nigeria. So, first, we would like to have some definition. What is taxation? Taxation is compulsory contribution to the state, and it is levied by the government. Taxation can be in form of company income tax, capital gain tax, petroleum profit tax, personal income tax, education tax, value added tax, withholding tax, and the likes. So what we'll try to discuss today is how one can minimize one's exposure to taxation, because there are some allowances, exemption, and also loopholes in the tax laws that allows you to minimize the amounts that you pay to the tax authority, either monthly or during your daily transaction. How do you manage your daily transactions, or the amount you end up paying at the end of the year for something like company income tax, or how much you pay monthly for something like value added tax and the likes. So the new tax law in Nigeria is the 2020 Tax Act, which was introduced in the year 20, with effect from 1st of February 2020. So some of the exemptions that are found therein include the exemption of the first 10 million naira payable for loss of office. So if you're receiving compensation for loss of office, the first 10 million naira is exempted from tax. So it is the amount over and above 10 million naira that will be subject to tax. Similarly, it will be subject to tax under capital gain tax. Similarly, under the same capital gain tax for companies during reorganization, assets that are transferred during reorganization are exempted from capital gain tax and VAT, provided the assets are held in the company for up to 365 days after the reorganization, and that the organization is part of the group for a minimum of 12 months prior to the reorganization. Then under company income tax, franked investment income, which is income that have been subject to tax previously, are exempted from tax. So at the same time, interim dividend are no longer required to be companies paying interim dividend are no longer required to pay company income tax before the disbursement of such interim dividend. And this is because those interim dividends have already been subject to withholding tax, which is tax in advance for income tax. Then at the same time, deductible interest on foreign loan are now subject to a maximum of 30% of earnings before interest, taxation, the depreciation or amortization. So those interests that are not fully covered can be carried forward for the next 5 years. So it's for a particular year, 30%. There's a maximum of 30% that